Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Attack the Gas Station, South Korean comedy from 1999. Four anarchistic youths run amok and decide to rob a gas station, but suffer a setback when they realize that the station is low on cash during that particular evening. And after tending a customer out of necessity to cover things up, their leader comes up with a brilliant idea. Simply work the gas station throughout the night, service the customers, and pocket the cash payments. But that's easier said than done, however. Chaos breaks out amongst the hostages, gangsters are forced to rap at one point, customer service becomes a fighting art, moped delivery boys go crazy, and the location itself becomes a staging ground for all kinds of beatings and conflicts. But can our delinquent youths find a way to make it through the night with enough cash to make it all worthwhile? Now, Attack the Gas Station is one of those movies that wastes no time getting straight into its plot. Quite literally, the very first scene of the movie shows them robbing the gas station. So the shenanigans and loony conflicts begin immediately. One of the more enjoyable aspects of this film for me was the comedy that is related to customer service. During college, I worked at a local pharmacy like stocking shelves, but I also had to deal with a number of unreasonable customers along the way. Anyone who has worked in retail or customer service will certainly appreciate the humor in Attack the Gas Station, because the characters who are servicing the customers are violent delinquents who just do not take crap from anyone. So when a jerk customer rolls up in their car, to get some gas, and they give these guys some attitude, they give them some grief, it does not end up well for the customers. So I find those interactions extremely entertaining and funny in this. The comedy in this film definitely worked for me, and that's one of the main reasons why. Another aspect that I liked is how things continually just kind of spin out of control, because there's so many different kinds of people who show up, and most of them end up in some kind of conflict with our delinquent protagonists. It really helps to kind of balance the film out, because this is essentially a one-location film that takes place during one night. So you're kind of limited in that regard. There are a few brief flashbacks, and a few scenes take place outside, down a few streets and alleys. But at least 90% of the runtime is set at the gas station. So the plethora of side characters who come in and out of the story helps to keep things very lively and energetic, despite the limited locations. Now, what I'm about to say next may sound weird, but have you ever seen a comedy where the characters reminded you of people that you know in real life? Because that happened to me while watching Attack the Gas Station. Again, during college, I was basically in an entourage of 4 or so dudes who hung out together all the time. And I swear, there are characters in this movie that reminded me of our entourage. There's a dude in this movie that kind of reminds me of me a little bit. Not necessarily in terms of what the characters do in the film, but more in terms of temperament and personality traits. So that made the viewing experience even more entertaining for me personally. There are a few recognizable actors in this from early on in their careers. We have Ji-tae in the lead role, or a lead role, not only before his villainous turn in Old Boy, not only before his romantic role in One Fine Spring Day, but this was before his role in Ditto as well, and that movie's back a ways, right? So you get to see this actor in one of his very first film roles, and he's very entertaining. There are a few other fairly popular actors who appear in this, but I'll let you experience that for yourself. However, very early on in the film, I was shocked at one of the supporting actresses. Yo-won Lee from Queen Sun-duk is in this, the lead actress from that show, which I never really appreciated during the prior 3 or 4 times that I had watched Attack the Gas Station, because I never associated her with Queen Sun-duk because I hadn't seen it yet. But I recently just watched that and reviewed it, and it's definitely amusing to watch or rewatch a movie that you saw back in the day and recognize supporting actors who you're a fan of now, or even more of a fan of now. It's always a nice surprise, and that was another cool experience I had with this. Now, in terms of violence, if you're worried about the violence in this movie, because there's a lot of it, don't worry, because it's extremely light in tone and played for laughs. You know, most of the violence consists of people getting smacked around or beaten with wooden sticks. And the American DVD says that this was rated R for pervasive language and violent behavior. But aside from some of the foul language, this is strictly PG-13 material. So I easily could have watched this film when I was like 9 or 10 years old. No problems. And when I was a kid, I was watching Stallone murder people, so it's nothing. You know what I mean? So just so you know, it's no big deal. There is one scene where a girl almost takes off her bra, but doesn't, so you don't have to worry about it. Really, the younger teenagers can easily watch this. The only slight criticism I would have for this film is that it does get a little bit repetitive. You know, there's a lot of humorous beatings in this movie. So, for example, one dude carries a big wooden stick with him, and he smacks people in the head with it whenever they irritate him. You know what I mean? And he does that quite a bit in this movie. So be prepared for that. But I do think that the character interaction mixes things up more than enough to make up for any repetition that's in this. So, like most people who have seen this film, I really enjoyed Attack the Gas Station. It is widely available on DVD with English subtitles in the United States. That has not always been the case. You know, years ago, I remember this. After the original Korean DVD went out of print, all we had in the US was like a really crappy English dubbed version that was terrible. And that was the only version floating around, so I didn't buy this movie for years. But there was a re-release on DVD with the original Korean language, which is a must. Do not watch the English dub of this one. Like, if you want an English dub, you can watch Ricky-O. You know, Ricky-O, the story of Ricky, you watch that movie with the English dub. Okay, that's appropriate. This one, you got to find the Korean original language first. So just make sure, if you watch it in its original language with English subs. And as always, I'll see you next time.